Aloha, y'all. It is Wednesday, ruled by Mercury, the 2nd of December. According to Mayan Dream Spell, it is a yellow magnetic star guided by elegance. Just want to make sure I'm reading that right. The other day, I had misread, and somebody on YouTube, shout out, I forget who it was specifically, but um, brought that to attention, so I want to make sure I'm telling you the right data. Double Gemini Life, let's get it right. So yeah, it's a yellow magnetic star guided by elegance. It is a sacral chakra day, second chakra, your Svadhisthana chakra. Be doing the mantras, the mudras. In this case, it's Vam, and the note is D. You want to be doing the hand gestures, which in this case would be something like that on your lap. Look them up. You'll find that the magic goes a very long way. I guarantee. So check it out. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. It is Wednesday, like I said, ruled by Mercury. The sun is in Sag. The moon is in Cancer. Mercury's in Sagittarius now officially, so we've entered a very new energy there. Venus is in Scorpio. Mars is in Aries. So right now we have a lot of fire and water going on. So let's go ahead and pull a card. Many cards actually, but this card is the main card of the day. We have the Lovers. This is the Gemini card. So, a major arcana card. The Lovers, seeking connection with others, blending opposing ideas into one, making a choice, accepting yourself as you are, and giving and receiving freely. The Lovers card, I am the gateway to divine love. The Lovers govern the realm of relationships, connections with self or another. It asks us to consider different points of view so that we can, quote, relate to the issues at hand. Rather than seeing things as black or white, it encourages us to expand our point of view and see things as black and white, two sides of the same coin. The Lovers are depicted in an urban landscape, illustrating that most of our lives are now being played out in urban environments. We have moved out of the garden into the city. Cities are gateways to new opportunities and experiences, diverse melting pots of culture, service, and learning. Similarly, the gateway of the Lovers archetype can expand our point of view, experiencing how different or, quote, disowned qualities complement and contribute to a greater and more potent sense of, quote, being and, quote, possibility in the world. We feel the magic of synergy, the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. The Lover, which reminds me a lot of the Gene Key I read this morning with you, Haley. The Lovers' faces are taken directly from a work of art I created for Bowie in 1997 also called The Lovers. Their nudity symbolizes their desire to be open and free, honest, soulful, and sensual beings that feel safe, honored, and appreciated in each other's presence. Open to revealing their shadow selves and receiving the light of awareness and acceptance. Experiencing the highs of love and the associated high levels of dopamine in the brain, we can effortlessly fall in love with ourself, our beauty, innocence and radiance reflected beautifully back to us by the other. We move with and beyond the ecstatic embraces, passionate, sensual, and embodied, to merge and become one another, whole, complete. The bees dance above the honeycomb dripping with honey, the sensual and sweet food of the gods, the ancient symbol of love and fertility believed to be a powerful aphrodisiac and incorporated into many ritual practices associated with fertility and marriage. The spider, a remarkable figure of feminine energy and creativity, whose skill in weaving her intricate web is a miracle of organic engineering, symbolizes weaving the web of life with her lover and the integration of all parts, light and dark, into the whole. The bullet holes are a stark reminder of the destructive power of love, the addiction to a lover. Inherent in the art of a relationship is two-way communication, giving and receiving, expressing and listening, and when we realize that there are fuller gifts to give and be received beyond the passion of sexual love, love can then be transformed. From the heat of desire for the other to a beautiful sharing and acknowledgement of the gift of life embodied and mirrored in each other. As the depth of loving grows and matures, the acceptance of what will be, moment to moment, expands, and like the fountain of life in an overflowing cup, each gives for the sheer joy of giving, wanting nothing in return. This card hums with the positivity, balance, and harmony. So what we have with the Lover's card, which is, I'm a double Gemini, this is where I'm at, naturally, is duality being played out. And with the sun in Sagittarius and the moon in Cancer, we have the ability to and with all this fire and water. There's the polarity right there, right? Earth and air, fire and water. So we have this kind of opposites mending to become a new, energy. Sagittarius Sun is like, I want truth, but with and Mercury there, it's like, I'm gonna search all the truths. Oh my gosh, like let's figure out all the stories and what resonates the most. What's the most exciting adventure we could aim towards? And with Cancer, Moon and Venus and Scorpio, it's still very deep, watery. Like, what is gonna bring me emotional satisfaction? I don't want just like, I want a truth that satisfies my soul as well as makes me feel nurtured, not just truth like smacked in the face of it for the sake of it or whatever. So very resonant card, given the astrology of the moment. Let's go ahead. And it's a Wednesday ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a Gemini. Gemini is the lover's card. Mercury ruled. So you get what I'm throwing down here, I think. Let's pull a clarifier from the Dreams of Gaia deck, which is an amazing deck. All right. So we've got integrity. Number 23. Chilling with an owl, jaguar, the forest. So let's get this. Integrity. All right, integrity. Keywords: integrity, honesty, honor, character, values, morality, sincerity, consistency, principles, fairness. Key phrases: acting with honesty and honor, walking your talk, everyone deserves a second chance, oppose hypocrisy, dishonesty, cruelty, and injustice, practical, ethical, and honest behavior, do not play favorites, be the best person you can be, do it for love, not for profit, keep your promises, do not betray a trust, avoid gossip and speaking ill of others, do not cheat or take the easy way, do not allow injustice or cruelty toward innocence, behavior and actions influence reputation, and we all live in glass houses, so avoid judging. Right? Don't throw stones, kind of thing, right? Meaning, the integrity card is the seventh of the influence cards. It represents making choices and acting with honesty and honor. Integrity has many forms. There's personal integrity, professional integrity, artistic integrity, intellectual integrity. To have sound personal integrity is to have high moral, ethical, and personal standards and to hold true to your core values regardless of circumstances. It is to stand in direct opposition of hypocrisy, dishonesty, cruelty, and injustice. To honor your personal truths. Sagittarius Sun, what is your personal truth? Ultimately, what is truth for you, right? Your words and actions are in harmony and do not contradict each other. In short, you walk your talk. Mars and Aries, you're walking your talk. You're doing the thing, Venus and Scorpio. What are my deep psychological values that I find power in? And with Mercury and Sag, you're speaking your truth. You're walking your talk. To have sound personal integrity is to be good, to be of good character and nature. It is to be authentic and not to hide behind any deception or illusion, which can be the shadow of the Lover's card is the masks of Gemini, right? Like, don't just wear a mask. What you see is what you get. Authenticity is the mainstay of a person with integrity. To have integrity is to do what you love because you love it. Yes, if you are blessed to be able to create for a living, you should do so, but the basis of creation should always be love, not money. A person with artistic integrity should not compromise themselves for their craft for money. They will always give their audience and clients their finest work because when they love what they do, the Lover's card, they strive without conscious thought to have their current project or creation be their best. Their heart and passion is always their guiding influence. Sun and Mercury and Sagittarius. Heart and passion, guiding influence. To have professional integrity is to practice ethical and honest behavior in business. It is to accord fellow employees, employers, customers, and clients respect and honesty. It is to meet one's personal and professional duties in a dedicated and responsible manner, and always perform your duties to the best of your ability each and every time. It is to strive to offer a product of workmanship of the highest quality and to be willing to grow, improve, and refine oneself in order to become a master of your craft or to the top of your field of expertise. To have intellectual integrity is to live by the same standards that you expect others to live by. It is to be consistent and treat all with equality. It is to be just and fair. It is to hold true to your core values in a manner that is consistent and expected. It is to give those around you the same treatment and not play favorites. There should be no arbitrary expectations, including yourself. Those with integrity do their utmost to avoid hypocrisy, but also know and understand that some of the beliefs they subscribe to cannot always be honored. They aspire, but they do not always succeed, and this does not make them less, it makes them human. Those with integrity are not perfect. Those with integrity are honorable, honest, and accepting of their imperfect state, and do not strive for an impossible ideal, but instead endeavor to be the best person they can be in all areas of their life. And that's important. It's like integrity isn't about getting it perfectly right. It's about trying. to get it perfectly right. You're not going to get it perfectly right. Don't think you can. You have light and dark in you. So just being like, only light, only, masculine, no feminine, or feminine, no masculine. It's like, that's not right. But be as integrous as you can to both sides, knowing that it's all about E for effort kind of stuff. When the integrity card appears in the present, it symbolizes the importance of acting with integrity in the here and now. Endeavor to keep your promises. It is not always easy, but if you make a promise, do what you can to fulfill it. If you know you cannot keep a promise, then do not make one. If you have a broken or must break a promise, be honest and speak up sooner rather than later. Do what you can to avoid betraying a person's trust. I've learned this very difficult lesson recently myself, so it's true. And with Venus and Scorpio still, it's like people might be, especially with love, might be very distrusting, very kind of like, looking for lies and stuff. Avoid gossip, Gemini, Lover's card, right? Avoid gossip, speaking ill of, and wishing ill upon others. Venting is one thing, but there's a fine line between expressing your disappointment or anger in another to a friend and speaking to destroy their reputation. Now that Mercury's gone from Scorpio into Sagittarius, we're not trying to destroy we're not trying to use our tongue as a weapon. We're trying to use our tongue and our words, metaphorically speaking, tongue, as a device for truth. And our truth, the truth of the situation, your truth being honored, all that kind of stuff. Not just destroying people for our ego stuff. It is one thing to be honest and another to be petty or to embellish the truth to make another be seen in a negative light and yourself in a positive one. Be honorable, be courteous and respectful even when you do not feel it is deserved. Be honest with your relationships, but always remember that the truth has the power to hurt. Always choose to err on the side of compassion and kindness. With the moon in Cancer, sometimes some truths are really hard, and it's like there's a way to say it, or maybe you don't say it at all for a little while. It's like there's a season for everything. So, yes, it's true, but like, do they need to know this now? Telling someone they have terminal cancer when they're winning the World Cup maybe will deflate that whole World Cup experience. Maybe it's better to tell them the truth that they're terminal cancer after they celebrate the World Cup. You see what I'm saying? Moon in Cancer, compassion and kind of sensitivity. There's a wisdom there to that. Do the right thing without expecting reward. Do not look for cheats and shortcuts. Do things the right way, even if the right way is the harder way. Heard. Do not allow others to harm, lay blame, or judgment upon someone you know is innocent. Never allow another to take responsibility for something you had part in or were responsible for. If you want respect, accord others with respect. If you want to be treated with kindness, show kindness to others. If you want to be treated as an equal, one of the twins in a Gemini Lover's card, then treat everyone as your equal, as your lover potentially. Not literally. Don't take that too far. I'm not promoting polyamory here. If you seek to follow your own path, to be and believe in your own way, then allow others to do the same. That's the reciprocity. It's like, I'm going to be a man and I'm going to do what I need to in this relationship, but I want you to be fully your woman self. And she's like, I want to be a woman, but that means there are different things than you. But if I'm not my full self, there's a compromise and it damages the relationship and the integrity of the potential alchemy. So we have to be authentic and true, even if it hurts, using compassion as a kind of a tool. Sagittarius Sun, truth, Moon in Cancer, compassionately, in a nurturing way, in a sensitive way, not like an insensitive, like, here's the truth and I stab you with it, right? And with Venus and Scorpio, we've got to be careful not to do that out of vengeance and stuff like that. If you want respect, accord others with respect. If you want to be treated with kindness, show others kindness. If you want to be treated as an equal, then treat everyone as your equal. If you seek to follow your own path, do to be and believe in your own way, then allow others to do the same. Do not expect of others what you do not expect of yourself. Do not judge and condemn others if you do not wish to be judged or condemned yourself. Be the best person you can be today. And with Sun in Sagittarius and Mercury in Sagittarius, Mars in Aries, we are on fire about who we are, but we're trying to understand deeply what resonates. Venus and Scorpio, like what actually psychologically satiates me, and Moon and Cancer, we're like feeling it out. We're feeling it, right? So here's some, I don't know if that's water. Yeah, it is water. They're hanging out in like a water cave or whatever's going on. Like we're in the waters and being like, is this hot water or cold water? Like, do we want to make love here or not? Like, how do we feel about this? And it's like, we're both very passionate in ourselves. All this fire energy, Sag, Sun, Merc, Sun, Sag, Mars, and Aries. They're like, let's do the thing, but it's like, let's make sure we're listening to each other's needs, our true needs, right? That is the whole point of integrity, to meet things as it is, and to work for the best, knowing you can't do it perfectly, but striving for perfection nonetheless. That is the gift of being a human. To know that we can't, touch heaven, but we can try to bring heaven to earth, that kind of thing. So Let's go ahead and get a Galactic Heritage card. Hopefully you're all doing well. I'd love to know where you're watching from, so comment. It's always fascinating to me. Power of Sound. Hopefully you get some sound activations through the jam I'm about to do. But 20, this is a Vega timeline. And Mercury is the messenger, so words, right? Lovers, Gemini card, words. The power of an integrous word. The power of like a solfeggio frequency, that kind of thing. Power of Sound, past timeline, Vega, 20. Sound represents the physicalization of spiritual energy into a frequency that can be accessed in our reality. The ancient Vegans were masters of sound and used it for everything for healing, from healing to warfare. The practice of chant or mantra has its origins in Vegan mysticism and has spread to many planets, including Earth. If you've received this card, then you have past experiences using sound to alter consciousness. That's the chakra humming. I'm always saying, here's the chakra, do it, like sacral. The waters, like, do the humming with the chakra chanting, and you'll freak out. Or if you've received this card, then you have had a past experience using sound to alter consciousness, either for positive or negative purposes. This positive skill or negative karmic control pattern is returning. Explore the power of sound as the next step in your spiritual evolution. This time stream of Vega is very ancient, is foundational for many ET cultures, including those on Earth. In the ancient past, the Vegans had a strong spiritual connection to the founders, which is card number 1, and understood the structure of the universe and their role within it. The priests fully understood the journey from polarity back into unity, and they did everything they could to preserve the memory for future generations. Because they understood their sacred knowledge and made a commitment to preserve it, they were also carriers of spiritual wisdom within our galactic family. They kept all the knowledge of the evolution of the spirit, spiritual technology, and the power that lies within sound, light, and thought. They were masters of sound, including mantra, music, incantation, and tone. And this also, what's coming to mind right now is cymatics. So, right? So it's like you throw salt or sand or whatever on a thing and you turn on a frequency and all of a sudden you start seeing sacred geometry. It's like that. We're all frequencies being manipulated by the great Om, if you want to put it that way. And that's why what we're tuned into creates our reality somewhat. Look up cymatics if you don't know about it. You'll get blown away, I imagine. It's so basic, it's so prevalent and real, and like really happening. The teachings about the sound of Om, I just said this, Om, come directly from this ancient Vegan knowledge. Mysticism of the Vegans influenced Earth's ancient esoteric teachings, primarily those coming from the East, such as India and Asia, as well as Western mystic traditions. This card is a very specific one and appears only for those who have this connection too. As a musician, I like it. If you are not aware of your connection to the power of sound, explore it further. You will most likely discover a whole new universe of knowledge that feels natural to you, and it may be the next step in your spiritual growth. Like I was saying, check out cymatics if you've never checked them out, because that's fundamental to the reality at hand. So that's beautiful. So let's go ahead and get an animal oracle card and keep trucking. What wants to pop? We've got shark, purpose. I think I just got this the other day, but that's okay. So the purpose of our being is to experience love and partnership with ourselves, with others. That's the lover's card, right? And we can do that. Our purpose is to be integrous, right? And ultimately, we are a note in the song of creation, the power of sound, right? Are you tuned? Even being out of tune allows you to know the experience and the lesson of tuning in. Or if you detune, it's like, well, now I'm detuned. I want to get back in. So in that sense, there's no right or wrong. But this is the number 36. And it is the shark. I feel like this was maybe even yesterday, but I forget. Days are bleeding. Shark. Purpose. You are perfectly formed to be who you were born to be. You are a song, right? You are an element of the partnership, the lover's card. So here, I'll try to do this a little better because I got my hands full. You are perfectly formed. This guy needs to be the guy. Like you need a masculine part for the feminine part. This is internal as well as external. You need receptive as well as assertive, or however you want to put this, polarity, right? It's perfectly formed that way. The polarity plays with itself infinitely, so it's the one thing. There's an integrity and a design structure to how these things, quote, ought to go, from perfect integrity to perfect failure, if you want to put it that way. And tuning in, literally, with the sound frequencies of your purpose is very helpful. You are a note in the song of creation. Hit me up for readings because I can tell you kind of what the nature of your note might be or how to sing your song, but ultimately you're the one singing That's your humming. That's what your being is. You're a frequency that's humming in the sound of creation. So you are made with purpose. You're perfectly formed to be who you were born to be. There is great power in keeping your focus. Procrastination is just another kind of fear, so keep moving forward. You are protected in a difficult task. Mythos. The people of Polynesia had a very different relationship to sharks than most other cultures. Rather than being the object of horror and fear, sharks were honored for their power and purpose and were seen as gods, or Aumakua, who could be protective. The shark god Keali'ikau was the cousin of Kamaohali'i and the great fire goddess Pele. He was a powerful god, but quite a lonely one. He used to swim close to the shore and become friendly with the human people there, called the Ka'u. He would watch the people swim and fish and watch the sunset with its many colors, and it was during one such a time that he saw a human woman. So this is a sacral chakra day, the waters, right, being very resonant here. He was in the waters of creativity, and he saw a woman, and he felt was very beautiful. He got her attention and her trust, and they both fell in love. The lover's card, right? He got her attention probably through going, "Yo, girl." No, I'm kidding. I was going to say the power of sound. Barking at her. She fell pregnant, and when her time came, she birthed a magical green shark. The sun joined them in the sea, joined him, the Kealiki Akaua, and would help his mother and her people whenever they went fishing or as protection when they traveled. In Hawaiian culture, animals can be a family's aumakua, a kind of protective spiritual guardian. This is a form of reincarnation of a family member after death, as they could transform into aumakua animal. It's almost like a Patronus, but like it doesn't go away. Some families had sharks as their aumakua, and these families would never fear sharks, knowing that their ancestors were still alive but in shark form. They still had this lover's relationship, a relationship polarity. It's like, I'm a human, you're an animal, but you're still related. So I just closed the book. Of course, I didn't need to do that because I didn't finish. Why did I do that? So, the animal. Sharks are highly specialized fish that have evolved to be the apex predator in their habitats. Shark teeth are embedded in the flesh around the jaw, not within the jaw itself, and teeth are constantly regrown as needed. Their sense of smell is incredible. They can sniff out 1 part of blood in 1,000,000 parts of seawater. Their sense of hearing is also acute, being able to detect sounds emanating from many kilometers away. Sharks have special lateral lines down the sides of their bodies that are tuned to tiny vibrations and movements in the water, which helps them recognize prey that might be slow or struggling in the water. So they use the power of sound, the vibration, literally the sound vibration, right, in the water. It might be supersonic or subsonic, but it's like they still feel it. The power of sound. They also have a special organ, the ampullae of Lorenzini, that picks up electrical signals and makes them the most electricity sensitive of all animals. This is key for catching prey and in navigation, the latter because the Earth gives off electromagnetic impulses that are dependent upon the position on the planet. Some sharks are even more specialized in their evolution. For example, the hammerhead shark. The silhouette is unmistakable. I just saw an image of a swimmer who is unaware of a hammerhead shark near him, and it's like, scary looking shit. Nothing quite looks like a hammerhead. The eyes of a hammerhead are placed on the edges of the head wings, which gives them extensive visual width. I don't think it shows a hammerhead. It looks more like a nurse shark or a great white or whatever. The eyes of a hammerhead, hence the name hammerhead, are on the ends, right, the head wings, which gives them extensive visual width, very handy as the hammerhead scans the sea and sandy bottom for food. Hammerhead sharks are viviparous and do not lay eggs. Every other shark does. Pups grow inside the female shark. This is as for land-based mammals and is quite unusual. However, the mother gives birth to around 25 to 50 live pups at one time, and they are born with their eye wings folded back. Weird, but kind of cute. All the other sharks lay eggs. This is like a live birth, in a sense. Not in a sense, actually. The magic. Sharks are magnificent creatures built for purpose. They are focused on their job as a predator and are exquisitely fine-tuned to do this. Every sense is supercharged. Every move is purposeful. Use shark magic when you want to find your purpose and your focus again. Perhaps you're procrastinating or simply think you cannot finish a project. Heard. I have like 40 million books to read. So much. And I'm like, procrastination, right? So a form of fear. Perhaps you're procrastinating or simply think you cannot finish projects, so call on the energy of the shark to keep your eyes on the prize. Symbols. Dorsal fin out of the water, shark tail, shark teeth, and jaws. Status. Their status ranges from critically endangered to threatened. The practice of shark finning and sharks as a bycatch are huge issues. We actually do not know enough about some species of shark to be able to guess their numbers, so that's problematic. But with it being a sacral chakra, the waters, we can tap into a creative way to be powerfully purposeful, right? And in our specific designs, like the lover's card we're showing, it's like you have all polarity within you and it's all without you. How are you dancing with this? like I said, hit me up for a reading, and I can kind of tell you your design and how to best dance given what you've chosen in this lifetime, because you chose it. You chose this vessel. Wow, this is some Venus and Scorpio looking stuff. Tracy Emin. So Tracy Emin is the artist of the day. What she got to tell us? Like a good friend rolled in garbage, the work of Tracy Emin, British rep at the 2007 Venice Biennale, is both intimate and a potential biohazard. In Everyone I've Ever Slept With 1963 to 1995, the viewer is welcomed into a small camping tent in which Emin delivers on the title with those bedmates' names appliqued to the interior walls. She's boldly telling us the truth, Mercury and Sagittarius Sun, about who she slept with, Venus in Scorpio, the taboos, right? Her acclaimed and contested My Bed consists of Emin's mattress after a depressive episode, topped with stained sheets, stained panties, contraceptives, empty bottles, cigarette butts, and the emotional compost that fertilized this whole mess. Emin's personal and confessional works are not only self-portraits but reflections of societal taboos. Very Scorpio, Venus, but she's shouting it, loudly. Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Mercury. Concentrate on finding, the advice we're getting from Tracy is concentrate on finding, not losing yourself in your art, right? And the same thing goes for love. The same thing goes with yourself. Concentrate on finding who you are within polarity and not losing yourself. He has to maintain his polarity for her to be her full polarity, and vice versa. If he starts becoming neutral and she starts becoming neutral, it becomes this neutral thing and the charge is lost. So that's at some level that's fine, but at some level it's like not what we're looking for. So try to find yourself and not lose yourself in love. Try to find yourself and not lose yourself in individuation and person, knowing your chart. You want to find, like, I'm a Gemini. That means finding myself, not losing myself and like, I'm a Gemini, I'm just going to talk forever. It's like, all right, so Gemini's opposing Sagittarius. I need to find truth, right? Find yourself given the context. Because we've all been designed for a purpose. We have like an integrity, right, to our design. The leopard is not the owl, is not the woman, is not the waterfall, but they're all at once happening. They're happening, right? Which is the whole point of ohming out the power of sound. Know that you're in the song of creation, but everything is specifically designed, and it changes. It's not just like one thing is one thing forever, right? I mean, at one point, like the leopard might be single, or she's like chilling in the woods without a partner, and like Eve style or Lilith style, and then she finds her Adam or whatever, right? Every stage has a purpose. Try to find yourself in that process and not lose yourself. Whether it's art, love, relationship, political parties, like you can find out what your truth is. Mercury, Sun, in Sagittarius, but with the Moon in Cancer, be sensitive to the fact that other people have different truths than you. And that's okay. It takes all kinds. This little spot is very different than this line, which is very different than this area down here, right? So like this whole thing becomes a tapestry. It's the Tao, if you want to put it that way. It's like life. But every part is unique, and that uniqueness brings a unity to it. It's not just pure black or pure white or whatever. Oh, wow. So we've got, I think this is bismuth, if I'm not mistaken. So we can quantumly entangle with this. Yep, bismuth. If you don't own it, this is some ratchet-looking stuff. What it is, an iridescent crystalline metal with a stair-step structure that forms when liquid bismuth cools. Bismuth's energy is focusing, conductive, and awakening, right? So we have all this fire and water energy. So when the liquid, it's so hot it's liquid, and it hits, let's just say, water and cools, it creates this stair-stepping effect, right? Even if it's just the moisture of the atmosphere cooling it down, air, right? Who needs it? The easily distracted, burners, Sagittarius Sun, Mercury in Sagittarius, Aries in Mars and Aries. So burners, but this means burning men, people who are very bored, and people who are easily distracted. Right now, we might be getting distracted and very confused with Mercury and Sagittarius, and the Sun in Sagittarius. We might be like, oh my gosh, there's so many truths I never looked into, and which one do I pick? Right, we might be very distractible right now. Where to put it? On your desk in Silicon Valley and in your utility belt at Black Rock City. When to use it? For those looking for some psychedelic influence without swallowing the red pill, lie on your back and take a 10 or 100 or a million powerful breaths through your mouth with bismuth placed on your forehead. And I've been doing holotropic breathing lately, and it's really helpful, so it's resonant there for me. Then, break out of tired, gray thought patterns and get en route to a more colorful, energized life. It says, rewrite your code with rainbows. Guys, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, we can read our code, the lover's card, right? Like with rainbows, like all the colors here. It's like, the the spectrum, right? Love itself. But every shade of that has integrity. Like red is red and it is not blue. Blue is blue and it is not green, but they're all in one rainbow. Just like all levels of polarity enmesh into this dance of being. Know your song, know yourself in the song of creation in the sense with the power of sound. Do these mantras, do these chakra chants. You'll find some magic there, I promise. And I'm about to jam. Hopefully you hear some magic in the music. That's the magic I try to bring with my guitar skills. There's a purpose behind everything, so don't doubt it. Try not to get too enmeshed, right? It says concentrate on finding and not losing yourself in your art. So part of, making love or whatever is like losing yourself, but it's like if you lose yourself too much, you like fail to operate properly. So it's a balancing thing, right? Like try not to just be so obsessed with your political stance or your worldview or your, what you love to do that you lose yourself in it. We're all in a love song, right? Like there's nothing outside of love in a weird way. It's just a matter of like how in tune and out of tune to that frequency are you. It says rewrite your code with rainbows. So with the Lover's card, I mean that's just like da 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 da. Rewrite your code, right? Mercury day, sacral chakra, creatively rewrite your code with love, compassion, intuition, Cancer moon, for the truth that you seek individually that holographically affects the collective Sagittarius, Sun, and Mercury. Let's go ahead and play some music. I know I forgot one thing to do. I didn't set this part up, but whatevs. Hopefully all are doing well. With it being the Lover's card and it being integrity as the clarifier, we shall jam thusly. Oh gosh, is this gonna... That worked. All right, so the Lovers. If you wanna be my lover, you gotta have integrity, right? Even that song is like, yo, like fucking around is cool, but like proper polarity balancing lasts forever. Friendship, if you want to put it that way. So the Lover's card with integrity. You get the idea. So, with the Lover's card as the main card and Integrity as the second card, we have the ability to get situated really quick. We have the ability to really be ourselves in relationship with others, right? What is our truth? Sagittarius Sun, Mercury in Sagittarius, in relationship sensitively to others, Cancer Moon. So you want to be yourself, but you want to be yourself in relationship, right? You want to be integrous. You want to be speaking your truth kindly. Sagittarius Sun, Moon in Cancer. You want to deal with the power of sound, doing chants, music, silence, even lack of sound, right? Powerful stuff. There's a purpose for all these things, all these frequencies. Don't get so involved with it that you lose yourself. Witness well. Don't attach, right? Attachment is like suffering. The less you attach, that doesn't mean don't participate. It's like don't attach. Don't think that's all you are, right? Stacey Emmons saying, concentrate on finding, not losing yourself in your art. That's life. Find yourself in life. Don't lose yourself in life. Rewrite your code with rainbows, with bismuth, fascinating looking stone, right? Or metal or whatever it is. And know that you have the power to participate well with yourself, lovers internally, Ida Pingala, Shiva Shakti stuff internally, as well as with others outside of yourself. So hopefully that makes sense. Holler for readings. I love giving them. People love getting them. 5 stars all day. That's all I got. So really good quality for, high quality, cheap value, in the sense of it's cheap. I try to make it affordable. I'm not trying to pay a mortgage with this shit. And we've got 2 podcasts today. I don't know if they're going to be separate or the same. Paul Goodman's coming back on, as well as Andreas Exertus is his channel on YouTube. That should be fascinating. He just hung out with Alex Jones, I think, and stuff. Interesting. So that's happening today, as well as I'm spacing on what else. Well, nothing else really. Oh, hit me up for readings. I think I said that though. So, lover's card. Love yourself, love others. Truthfully, passionately, but sincerely and sensitively. Sun and Sag, Moon and Cancer, right? Do that. And ultimately, if you like this, if you think you've enjoyed the tune, enjoyed the message, like, share, subscribe, show it to people, whatever's clever, and hopefully you enjoy the ride.